JK with PornReboot here. I'm stuck in traffic and a thought came to me based on a conversation I was having with a client yesterday. And I do have a question for you. And my question is your apathy, your fatigue, and your lack of accomplishments actually due to the symptoms of PMO, compulsive sexual behavior, or are you just a lazy person? I believe that this is a question that every man who is struggling with an out of control sexual behavior should seriously ask himself. Because if you are depressed and you are in your 20s or early 30s, based on my experience working with hundreds of men, there is a very high chance that most of your depression, most of your sadness and unhappiness actually comes from being lazy and lacking self-discipline. It is a big mistake to blame all of it on PMO. Don't get me wrong. PMO can and does cause those things. But if you are already a lazy, unmotivated individual who does not have self-discipline, it is going to be very challenging for you to stick to the things that are necessary for you to accomplish recovery, for you to be free of porn and masturbation. Very, very difficult. Here's the reality. Now, this is based on my experience. I was lazy. I had a lot of daytime fatigue. I had problems getting out of bed. I had problems motivating myself, and sometimes I did not feel like doing anything. But I was lucky enough to have mentors who explained what self-discipline was to me. And self-discipline is magic. Self-discipline involves doing things that you should do when you don't feel like doing it. So seriously ask yourself, am I a person who is self-disciplined, or am I a lazy person? And am I using my addiction to pornography as an excuse? How do you find out if you aren't one of those people? How do you find out if you're already a self-disciplined person? I'll give an example. I work with quite a few attorneys. I work with high-performing executives. I work with a handful of doctors, surgeons, and these are already individuals who, to get to where they are in life, they had to exercise a certain amount of self-discipline. Some of them have natural talent, which is fine, but nevertheless, they still worked hard. They went through specialized training for their professions, which you cannot get through if you are a lazy person. You cannot get through law school if you're lazy. And you definitely cannot become a surgeon if you're a lazy person or you're unmotivated, because it takes a lot of work to get there. But if you have not accomplished anything in life, regardless of your age, whether you're 28 or 33, you need to take a long look in the mirror and say, well, have I ever done anything for a certain period of time that required immense amounts of self-discipline? In my personal experience, while I was struggling with porn, I was in door-to-door sales. And yes, I was masturbating. Yes, I was watching a lot of pornography. But at the same time, I was also going out there and I was working 16 hours a day. The work ethic was there. And I believe that because I put myself in an environment which forced me to be disciplined and accountable, in this case, accountable to my sales goals, to my organization, to the people that I was recruiting to work with me, that environment was very, very helpful. When I began my recovery in earnest, when I became very serious about it, that disciplined environment helped. So I've arrived at my destination. That is the question I want you to ask yourself today. Am I a lazy person and am I an undisciplined person? Or am I just using the symptoms of my porn addiction as an excuse? And if I am, what are some of the things that I can do? I'd really like to hear back from you guys as to what you think you are. So leave your comment below. Guys, no shame, no judgment on my YouTube page. I truly want to hear from you. Next week, I'm going to be hosting a live webinar, 7 Secrets of Porn-Free Men. I'm going to be there myself, live. It's next week, Thursday. I hope you can join me. The link to the webinar is in the description below. I'm JK, your brother in this struggle, and I'll see you on the brighter side of recovery. Have a great day.